Hey guys, this is Shane with Rocket Powered Sound, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this insanely disrespectful 808 in Vital, and this is what it sounds like. Yeah, the preset's pretty crazy, right? It actually comes straight from our brand new Ultimate Vital bundle, which has like over 120 equally as insane sounds to this in one giant collection of insane presets. And you can go ahead and click the link in the description down below if you want to check that out. Like a bunch of basses, leads, chords, keys, everything that you're going to need to just help improve your music really quickly. It's inside the bundle. So without further ado, let's jump right into the tutorial. I'm going to show you exactly how this sound works and a bunch of other cool stuff. So this particular 808 preset, it contains some really interesting sound design techniques that you can literally just steal. And I'm going to show you that right now. I'm going to give those to you. And you could also get this free preset using the link in the description. So what I recommend is you go ahead and download that preset right now. And then you follow along with this tutorial, and I'll show you all the techniques that make this 808 come to life. And not only that, but techniques that you can use to make pretty cool 808s that sound just as disrespectful as this one in the future. Okay, so the first technique here is that it's actually all about the oscillators. A huge mistake I see a lot of producers make is they focus so much on like the post-processing of their 808s and their subs that they kind of miss the main point of it, which is, you know, you just want this thing to hit hard and stand out. And the way that happens is a lot of the times through harmonics. And we get a lot of those from our oscillators. So if we take a look at the oscillator setup on this particular sound, we're using two main oscillators. Oscillator 3 was one we were playing around with. A little bit more on that in a sec. But if we were to isolate and just play oscillator 1, that's all it sounds like. It doesn't really sound like much on its own. But when we couple that with oscillator 2, it sounds crazy. And you might be wondering what kind of waveforms are these? They look a little bit weird. The first one is actually pretty much a sawtooth waveform. It's just a saw that's just kind of like having a strange variation. Okay, so it's pretty much a saw waveform. And then the other one is just a sine. But what we did is we used the formant scale to actually add in some pretty cool harmonics into this wavetable. Let's take a look. That is just nasty. And as you can see, so much of the bulk is done just with this one formant scale knob. Right? And all this is on its own is a simple sine. But it turns into so much more. But because we are kind of doing this weird thing with the formant scale, if you take a listen, it sounds a little bit thin, right? The 808 doesn't sound like it's taking up the full depth that it originally was. So that's where we're coming in with this sawtooth waveform to just kind of fill in that gap. And you can hear how it just comes together, sounding really full. Now, one more thing that we were playing around with was, let's see what it sounds like when we were to add in another oscillator that's pitched up one more octave. Because the whole thing, like I said, we just want to be adding in a lot of harmonics so the sound really just stands out. And in this particular case, it does sound pretty sick, but it's not exactly what we're going for. So this next technique here, technique number 2, is actually how you go ahead and make your 808s punch hard and kind of stand out in the mix more. And that right there is done through modulating the pitch, okay? And as you can see in the transpose section, envelope 3 is pitching up both oscillator 1 and oscillator 2 and oscillator 3, it's not octave though, up 1 octave each. And then what happens is it quickly falls down. Okay, so we have the sustain all the way down, and then we have the decay super fast. Okay, and that's what creates that hard hitting effect. We go all the way up here on the pitch and then go zoom, like really fast, and it just creates like a punching sound. All right guys, so technique number 3 here is all about post-processing your 808s, and here's a couple techniques that you can use to just do that in your music. Number 1 is we're using a compressor, and the compressor just makes it shapes it a little bit more and adds so much more punch to it, because that's obviously what we want to do. If you haven't noticed already in this video, if we turn off the compressor, that's what it sounds like, but we turn it on, you hear that punch? Yeah, that's exactly what the compressor is doing. Is it's just making it punch, especially because of this envelope 3, what it's doing with the pitch. So you combine these things and it just really comes to life. So the next part is going to be the hard clip. You know, you could do a soft clip or a hard clip. Those are normally the two that I'd recommend when working with 808s, but ultimately you can come up with something entirely cool on your own. The hard clipper, it sounds so fat and nice, but with that being said, it does add in those high-end frequencies that we kind of want to get rid of. So we just use a EQ and cut out those high-end frequencies so we can maintain that nasty crunch. And as a bonus for post-processing, one thing that I also recommend is our Thickify plugin, which works really great with 808s and really just kind of any sound that you want to make hit harder or sound thicker. You know, if we turn on Thickify, and one thing that not a lot of producers know is if you actually turn up the tone, we add in a bunch of harmonics to 808s. And we could bypass that without it, with it. Yeah, so Thickify is another thing that you can add to your 808s to bring them to life and make them sound fatter and fuller really quickly as well. And really just any sound. The link to that is in the description as well. So without further ado, guys, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and click the like button on this video. That way I can see it as feedback, and let me know in the comments as well if you enjoyed this tutorial and the sound as well. The link to the Ultimate Vital Bundle and our Thickify plugin are both in the description as well. This is Shane with Rocket Powered Sound, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.